All right, welcome back to another episode of the DGN Sports Show. Me, Adam, and Garrett are back once again. Today we're going to be making picks for Saturday and Sunday's NFL games. We're just going to jump right into it. First game we have on the board is Wake Forest and Clemson. Clemson is a 7.5 point favorite. The over/under is 56, and money line odds are plus 253 for Wake Forest. Garrett.
Y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
I really like the over/under in this. I just feel like it's 100% going to be a shootout. I feel like Wake Forest can score on a lot of different teams, but I don't think they're going to be able to keep up with Clemson. Clemson 7.5. I don't love it, but I like it enough. I'm going to take Clemson to cover that and pound the over.
I'm going to go with Wake Forest. I think that half point at 7.5 just makes it. I don't think Clemson will beat them by 10. I could definitely see them beating them by a touchdown, but Clemson's given up some points in their previous games to really no-name teams, and Wake Forest has really been lighting the scoreboard up. So I'm going to take Clemson 7.5 and the over at 56. I'm flirting with taking a money line, but I screwed myself last week on money line bets, so I'm just going to go with the spread.
I am also taking Clemson just like Garrett and the over. Both teams can score a lot of points, so I still think Clemson will win the game pretty handily. So
this is at Wake Forest too. Just to let you know.
Yeah. Next game is Kent State at Georgia. Georgia is a 46. The starting line was a 46. It's at 45.5. Obviously, a lot of people trusting in Georgia to cover because they have been covering. And the over/under is 62. Adam.
Man, 45.5 points is a lot of points. I'm gonna be honest on that defense. I wish there was a line, and there probably is if I look hard enough on how many points Kent State is going to score in the ball game. And I would be interested to see what zero would be on that odds list.
I would bet on zero.
Like I'd throw money on zero. That defense is it's the same as last year's, man. I mean, and I know 45.5 is a lot of points, but I mean, Georgia's given up one touchdown all year, and I'm going to take Georgia to cover that, man. 45.5, and then I'm going to take the under at 62 because I don't think Kent State may get a field goal, but I don't see them getting a touchdown. So, I mean, 45.5 is a lot, but man, Georgia just looks like a different animal than any other team in college football right now, and I can't go against them.
I agree.
Yeah, you kind of took the words right out of my mouth. It's just too many points for the over to hit, and I mean, unless Georgia's going out there and scoring 62 points against a Kent State team, which they very well can, but why would you try to do that? Georgia's easily going to cover this, I think. Do I see 62? No, but until Georgia lets it down, I'm going to keep rolling Georgia.
Yeah, I feel like you'd almost be stupid to bet against Georgia at this point. I know 45.5 is insanely high for a spread. But I'm also going to take Georgia and the under because I think Georgia's going to score about 48, 52, something like that. And then Kent State, I'm not even giving them a field goal. They are not going to score in this game. I don't care. I don't even think they'll cross the 50 on that defense.
So I'm going to throw out just a little bit of stats here just to make you guys feel better about your picks. Last week, Kent State actually did score a few points last week. They scored 63 on Long Island, but Long Island, I've never even heard of their football team, so I don't know about them. But they put up 3 points against Oklahoma. They lost 33-3 to Oklahoma. So if they can't score in Oklahoma, they're not scoring on Georgia. And then they got beat by 25 points by Washington. So I just don't see Kent State putting any points on the board, maybe 3. But Georgia put up 48 last week on South Carolina. Like it's going to be a 55-0 or 3 ball game. It's just too many points. It's not enough. It's crazy 45.5, but man, Georgia's defense just looks that good, and they're just that far ahead of everybody.
Yeah, I agree. Georgia's a wagon, and I don't think anybody can say that they're not. Just like the Bills. All right, Arkansas is at Texas A&M. A&M is a 1.5-point favorite. The over/under is 48.5, and plus 110 money line for Arkansas. I'm going to take this one first because I think I don't know how I feel about A&M right now, and I'm honestly going to take Arkansas money line. I've said good things about them in all our previous picks with that it deal with them. So give me Arkansas money line and 48.5. That's a toughie. Usually like 44, like you said, like you would stay under or I don't know. Give me the over. I'll take Arkansas on the over in this game. I think Arkansas's got weapons, so two good quarterbacks in this matchup also. Garrett, what you got?
I'm going to agree with you when it comes to Arkansas. I think they not easily win. I think it's going to be like a slugfest of a game, I feel like. I mean, these are two pretty damn good defenses. You know, A&M had their game where, you know, the defense didn't look as good against Appy State. But these two teams going up against one another, I think it's a different story compared to, you know, some lower level school comes in and you don't really have much film on them. These teams know each other. I think Arkansas is better. I'll take Arkansas money line. I don't like the odds on it, the money line odds, but I mean, 1.5, you might as well just go ahead and take it if you feel like Arkansas is going to win the game. Yeah. They're covering that; they're winning the game.
Yeah,
most likely. Being a slugfest, 49s. I'm taking the under, man. I could see this being like a 2017 game, and at 49 is a little bit too rich for me.
Yeah, I'm with you. It should be a tight game, but I feel like they're going to score a lot of points. And like you brought up Appy State against Texas A&M, that was App State's Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Like they're going to come out and play and throw everything they have at a SEC school. So that was fine and dandy, and we all enjoyed that game. But I don't see Texas A&M letting that happen again. Especially
I don't say that as a true diagnosis, like of faults in A&M.
Yeah, well,
I think it's just a shock to the system, and they're going to settle just fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're on the same page.
I think the under in this game is a home run.
Do you now?
Well, I mean, A&M, they scored 31 points in their first game against Sam Houston, but they put up 17 points in a row in the last 2 weeks. So they've shown. I mean, they put up 17 points against Appy State. Troy put up 35. You know, like I don't see Texas A&M being able to move the ball well. I think their defense is good enough to hold Arkansas to be able to keep it under that 49 range. But I think I'm going to hammer Arkansas money line. The only thing that's kind of iffy is that it's at Texas A&M. But I mean, man, I think Arkansas is the much better team in this situation. I've not seen anything from Texas A&M that shows me they're a ranked team.
No.
Like I would go as far as say the game being at Texas A&M is probably why they're favored by 1.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think Arkansas is better, but I mean that is College Station's a different environment. Like I get it, but
1.5 is almost a pick 'em. So.
Yeah.
I mean, we're basically
home field advantage it might be a 1.5 in Vegas. I think it's at least a point. So if this was at Arkansas would be favored.
Yeah.
That's why the money line odds are 110.
Yeah. So I mean, you're looking at very minuscule difference there. Kentucky, Northern Illinois. This is at Kentucky. Kentucky is a 26.5. The over/under is 53. Northern Illinois money line is plus 1250, and I would recommend that no one touch that. Adam, what do you got on this one?
So, if Northern Illinois' quarterback was in the ball game, I would hammer Northern Illinois in this.
Yep.
The fact that he's not, we're not a run it up football team. We're not. Like we scored what 31, 36, 36, 26, 31. So we've not scored over 36 points all year. I think truthfully, I'm going to take the under. I'm still flirting with taking Northern Illinois, but just solely because their quarterback's out, I'll take Kentucky to cover that. But our defense is good. I think they won't have many points if their quarterback doesn't play. But I'm going to take the under, and I'll take the Cats. I don't feel good about that, but I'll take the Cats.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. If their quarterback was still in the game, I might consider taking Northern Illinois. I took Youngstown last week. I think Garrett did too. I think we all did to cover. And then our defense just – I would like to see some true projections on where our defense ranks. I need to look some of that up because they are animals right now. Not allowed a passing touchdown. Alabama, Kentucky. Only two teams left in the FBS.
We give up 36-16 and then 26-16.
Mm-hmm. I think that's right.
32 points all year.
Yeah. So give me the Cats and the under also.
I mean, you all practically said it. I actually took the extra step. His name's Rocky Lombardi. What a hell of a football name right there.
That's
I
up
checked
there.
it like an hour ago. He's still to be determined whether he's going to play. If he plays, I'm taking NIU to cover that because, I mean, they put up points against Vandy. I know it's Vandy, but in the second half between NIU and Vandy, they scored a touchdown in the third quarter and they didn't score the rest of the game. And they had that game won until he got hurt. So if he doesn't play, I don't. They'll be lucky to score a touchdown, let alone a field goal. So
Yeah.
I got to take the Cats. And like you said, we're not a rented up team, so I think we get out, maybe 33 points or, be done with it. I don't see where the extra 20 points comes from hitting over, so taking the under.
Yeah, I'm with you. I know Northern Illinois isn't a major program, but I mean, I just don't know that anybody can score on this defense. I'm going to keep pumping this defense until somebody puts some points up, which may be the Ole Miss game 1 week away after this one. Let's go to Alabama at Vanderbilt. 41 Alabama. No, this is at Alabama, sorry. 41 41 to the Crimson Tide, and the over-under is 58.5. Adam.
I'm gonna take Vandy.
Yes, I'm so happy somebody else did that.
It's not because I don't think Bama's a better team. Obviously they are. I mean, we've not even been able to find odds on Vanderbilt money line. So I'm going to take Vandy to 41 points is a lot of points. I'm not seeing truthfully, I'm not seeing anything from Alabama that shows me they're a top tier crazy team this year. Like they're definitely top 5, but they're not top 2. Not that I've seen.
No.
And Vanderbilt's shown that they can score some points. So I know 58.5 is a lot, but I'm going to take the over in that too. I'm going to take Vandy plus 41 and Vanderbilt and the over at 58.5.
I like that pick. What's Mr. Hammond's got?
So Vandy's going to put up 2 touchdowns. That's my prediction.
Okay.
Mike Wright. Shout out Mike Wright. Vandy's going to score a couple times. but that defense can't stop anything.
No.
Bama's going to score 60 points. I fully believe it. I'm taking Bama, and I'm hammering the over. I think there's going to be a lot of points scored, but mostly by Bama.
So I'm kind of with Adam. We seem to be are we a Mike Wright podcast? We believe in Mike Wright. Am I wrong in that?
Man, they're pushing right now on their season win total. So
Yeah.
Covering king. That's all that matters. He's a
Yeah.
covering king.
I am going
could the Bama win take them over the hump?
Well,
at Bama,
what their new coach said that they were at media day said they were going to be the best team in the SEC. Quote from his mouth. I'm pretty sure he said that. I know nobody believes that. I don't believe that, but I do think Vandy covers that 41, and I am also taking the over because, like Adam said, Vandy's going to score points because their defense has not shown enough to be able to stop anybody. I won't say anybody, but Vandy seems to be making some moves, so I'm going to give it to Vandy in the over, and we'll see what happens. Next game is Ohio State, Wisconsin. This is at Ohio State. This line moved 1 point. Ohio State is a 19-point favorite, and the over-under stayed the same all week at 57. Wisconsin is plus 625. Garrett.
So the last 8 matchups between Ohio State and Wisconsin, Ohio State's won easily. Now, 19 points is a lot of points, but against Big Ten opponents, I think when the normal spread against Big Ten opponents in the East, I'm almost positive it's like around 30 points.
Yep.
Now, Ohio State, the offense is not what it was past couple years. I don't feel like I don't really see too many points coming from them. But I mean, their rushing defense is insane. That Wisconsin cannot pass the ball. I'm trying to think of their quarterback's name right now, Mertz. I don't believe in him. I watched him a little bit last year. Didn't like what I saw. I think Ohio State barely covers this. I'm taking Ohio State, but it's still a Big Ten game, and I'm going to take the under. 57's a lot, especially for Wisconsin. Wisconsin and Ohio State. I mean, this is like punch you in the face, but we're going to punch you in the face, but still throw it down the field on you, and you can't do anything about it. So, give me Ohio State and the under.
Yeah, 57 is a lot, and we all know how Wisconsin plays football. It's going to be slow, clock managing, run the ball. Well, I've not
running
watched
backs in college football right now.
I've not watched a lot of Wisconsin games. How many?
Wisconsin's running back averages like 6.6 yards per carry.
That's
but
impressive.
They also haven't played a front like Ohio State's.
Yeah.
They did put up 66 last week.
Wisconsin did?
Who'd they play?
Wow.
New Mexico State, the Lobos. No, those are the Aggies. New Mexico State Aggies. New Mexico is the Lobos.
Yeah. Well, Kentucky plays New Mexico. We played New Mexico State last year, I think, or a year before. One of those two.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like the under in this game because I think it's going to be a clock management game. I know Ohio State can throw the ball around, but give me Wisconsin. I think it's going to be it's a conference matchup. I think Wisconsin's not going to let Ohio State run the score up because they're just going to manage the game and control the ball as much as they can. So I'm going to take Wisconsin and the under, and we'll see what happens. What's Adam got?
21 points all season. That's it. I think the under's an easy pick. Even though Ohio State's their offense has been rolling. They put up 77 last week, 45 the week before that. Really, the only hiccup was the Notre Dame game, and I think the Notre Dame game's kind of got a bad cloud around it because they got beat. But I like Wisconsin in this. I do. I think 19 points is a lot of points, and Wisconsin has one loss on the record. They got beat Washington State 17-14, which shows me that when they play a legitimate team, it's a grinded out ball game.
Yeah.
They can lock it down and kind of play tough. Um, so I mean, I'm seeing a 2-score ball game here, and so I'm gonna take the points in Wisconsin, and the under I think is a home run.
Yeah, we both agree on that one. I didn't know what way I was going to go with this game at first when it came out at 18. 19 didn't make a big difference, but clock management seems like where this game is going to boil down to. Last college game that we are picking, Tennessee, Florida. This is at Tennessee. Tennessee is an 11-point favor, and the over-under closed at 62. Florida's a plus 300. Adam, I'll let you take this one. I got to step in the other room.
This all comes down to Anthony Richardson. How many picks is he going to throw? How many yards is he going to run for? Like those two numbers are going to decide this entire betting scheme. I think Florida shows some fight in them. I don't think Tennessee's that good. I think they've beat who they need to beat. I don't think Florida wins, but I think Florida makes it a ball game. 10.5 points, especially that half point on the 10 mark. I'm gonna take Florida to cover that, and I'm gonna take the under on it. I think Anthony Richardson has made enough mistakes this year to not throw 3 pick sixes, and their defensive front is actually pretty good. They've got 2 legitimate draft picks on their defensive line, and I think they're going to get after him. They're going to get after Hendon Hooker a little bit, and I'm going to take the under. 62 is a lot. 62 is a lot of points. I'm going to take the under in Florida to cover that.
I would agree. I don't like the 10.5 for Tennessee, but for Florida to cover that, I don't see anything out of Tennessee from what we've seen this season. I mean, they barely beat Pitt in overtime against like a third string. Like, I don't see Tennessee running away with this. I think it's going to be fairly close, but I could also see this 34-31. Tennessee wins in the final seconds. I think Tennessee's going to put up points, but the reason that you say, like Anthony Richardson, it all depends on him. If he plays well, I think this is not an easy over, but an over. I mean, because that is a lot of points for both teams to score. 10.5 though, I think Florida's going to at least make it close if they don't win outright. And 62, yeah. I went all unders last week, but I'm taking over on this. I like both teams' offenses. When Anthony Richardson plays well, I know Tennessee can score, but the defense, I just don't see it. So, I mean, Florida can win this game outright. If they do, that's great because I think a lot of points will be scored. So, at least give me the over. But, yeah, Florida's covering that.
Yeah, I flirted with the idea of taking Florida money line in this game because I don't know. I think Hendon Hooker and Tennessee have a great offense. Was it Josh Heupel? Is that his name?
Yeah.
He's going to do a good job. He's going to stay there for a long time. He's a good coach. But I'm also going to take Florida to cover. I could see this being a 3-point game or a 7-point game. It's not going to be a blowout on either side of the ball, in my opinion. Give me the under also. And just throwing it back to that Tennessee Pitt game, it's probably one of the best games I've watched. Like, just watching the whole game this year, that was exciting as a fan and someone who hates Tennessee. I still enjoyed watching that. But, yeah, like Garrett said, Pitt got to their third-string quarterback, and Pitt was still keeping up with them. So that tells me their defense is not up to par on what it should be. So, yeah, give me Florida in the under. And we will move on. I think that was our last. Yeah, that was our last college game of the week. Moving on to NFL. An illustrious matchup here. Steelers are traveling to Cleveland. Is this correct? -5 to the Browns. Is that right?
I think it's at 4.5 now.
It's 4.5.
Okay, 4.5 to the Browns. I did not see that. Joseph was talking about how the Browns look so bad or whatever. But the over/under ended at 38.5 plus 175 to the Steelers. Garrett, you are the Steelers man. I will let you take this one.
So all I see in this game is defense, 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 and I think it's a 3-point ball game. Either Pittsburgh's winning by 3 or Cleveland's winning by 3. So I'm taking Pitt. I'm not comfortable enough taking Pitt with the offense right now. Money line, 38.5. If that could have been 34, and I probably would have taken it, to be honest. That's how little I believe in these two teams' offenses right now. But there has been a lot of talk this week. Some players calling out Matt Canada's offense. Maybe we see some changing. Maybe we see George Pickens maybe get a ball thrown to him. Hammer the under. We can't put up points. They can't put up points against our defense. But 4.5. This is going to be a close AFC North football game.
Yeah.
So
Adam, take this one.
I do not. I'm not a Steelers homer. That doesn't mean I hate them. I'm indifferent. Man, I don't know why. Every time I look at the Steelers money line, I'm in on it. Like I've not seen jack shit from the Browns. They gave up. I know they're going to be sour from what happened with the Jets last week, but I just I don't know why, but I'm drawn to that money line pick, and truthfully, I'm drawn to the under pick, but just purely stats wise, I'm going to take the over. 38.5 points is a low. Like we were just debating a 62-point over/under in college.
Yeah.
And we were like, you know what? Maybe we could see it getting over. Like, if it hits the under, so be it. But 38.5 points, I'll take the over on that one. So I'm going to take Steelers spread and money line and the over on the pick.
See, you took the words out of my mouth. I actually at plus 175, I like the Steelers here. I don't. Just because of history, and the Browns are not a good program. The Steelers, the over/under is what I'm stuck on. Because like we've said in earlier shows, like Pitt's not going to score a lot of points. The Browns, obviously I don't get them on TV, but I can read the stat lines and stuff. Over/under in this is tricky for me. I think I'm going to take Pitt money line and the under. Because I don't see a lot being scored, but I think Pitt's defense is just going to... We got my... how many picks do y'all have? 3 now? Pitt's D? 3 picks?
what?
You all have 3 three picks so far?
I've got Pitt the over in the money line. Garrett didn't take money line.
No, I know. I was just talking about how many picks, like
About
picks.
interceptions.
Interceptions, sorry.
Oh,
I shouldn't say
I'm
picks
sorry.
in a pick'em show. I was talking
I'm
about
sorry.
interceptions.
Yeah. Yeah, so Minka's got 2. One against Joe Burrow and one against Mac Jones, and then TJ Watt, before he went out, he got one against
Yeah,
Joe
that's
Burrow.
what I thought. I thought it was 3. So Adam took over.
If you compare offensive weapons in this game, Jacoby Brissett versus Mitch Trubisky, I feel that's a wash. That wipes them out.
Yeah.
Running backs, Najee Harris, Nick Chubb. Right now, Nick Chubb may be a little bit better with a better offensive line, but
Kareem Hunt.
Also Kareem Hunt. Hey, you tried to downplay Benny Snell though.
Yeah, yes, I love him. I love it. I love a good Kentucky boy.
He don't see the field very often.
If Kareem Hunt doesn't pop a woman in the eye, he's still the number 1 at Kansas City. So,
hey, and also, wide receivers. We got a better wide receiving core, but it all comes down to Matt Canada's offensive play calling. The last 2 games Pitt has played in, both unders have hit because we can't put up points, but our defense doesn't allow points.
Yeah.
And I feel like they're finally showing this on the over and unders because 38.5 is pretty hard to pick an under on. But it's Pitt and Cleveland. I wish Ben was there because we would win regardless because he owns Cleveland. But here we are. It's gonna be a slugfest. Not a lot of points, but maybe Pitt squeaks out a win. We'll see.
They should, but yeah, we'll be watching that together probably on Sunday. Bengals Jets. This is in New York. Bengals are a 5-point favorite, even though they are 0-2. And the over-under is at 45. The Jets are a plus 185. Now, the Jets, I've said this earlier, the Jets have spent money on their offensive line, and they do look better. They do not look like Jets we've watched the last 3 or 4 years. But, man, being my team, I know I'm kind of picking with my heart here. We have got to start blocking on the offensive line, and I hope it happens on Sunday. So I'm going to take the Bengals. And I'm actually going to take the over this game. I think this is the breakout game. I think Cincinnati is tired of the nonsense that's been going on. 13 sacks in 2 weeks. And it's not that we're not catching the ball. Joe's not thrown a bunch of bad passes. We just haven't had a lot of pressure from the defense. And I don't know a lot about the Jets defense, but I'll still give the edge to Cincinnati here. I'm going to take the 5 and the over.
You want it, Garrett?
Yeah, I'm actually going to make Blackburn feel a little bit better.
Thank you.
The Bengals. So week 1, I picked the Bengals because I thought they were better. Week 2 was my Joe Burrow get right game, Bengals get right game. That didn't work out. It's got to happen. They got to get better.
Yes.
So what's the perfect opportunity than playing the Jets week 3 after they come off a ridiculous win? Joe Flacco is still their starting quarterback right now. Bengals minus 5. I see them winning by a touchdown. But with everything that's happened with the Bengals this year, I mean, they haven't allowed a lot of points. And I'm hoping for a pick, from the pick point of view, not as an AFC North fan of the Pittsburgh Steelers, but from a pick point of view, I'm hoping Joe Burrow goes off. They scored, 30 points, 30, 40 points, and, Jets squeaking a few touchdowns here and there. I'm taking the Bengals in the over.
See, that's why I like talking to you about NFL, because you're respectable. You aren't just going to shit on the Bengals because you are a Steelers fan. You understand that we have the potential to score all those points. We're just not doing it right now.
Yeah.
So
I know what y'all have. I mean, I'm realistic about it. And hopefully this is the get-right game for y'all.
I need it. I need a feel-good game on Sunday. I'm tired of wanting to drink myself to death on Sundays.
I'm sorry, Blackburn.
Easily said from a man who doesn't have an NFL team.
No, I'm a spectator. Man, the Jets are a wagon.
Oh, God. I'm gonna
ride
kick you from this call right now. Just
record that, clip that.
I'm gonna ride it, man. Jets kind of got. Like, listen, Joe Flacco's playing like an MVP right now, man. And that I'm saying that jokingly, but statistics wise, he's not. Like statistics wise, he legitimately kind of is.
No, he has looked very good on Sundays. I'll give him that.
I'm saying that. Yeah, I mean, I'm saying that jokingly, but like, man, I think the over/under is really low. I really like the over in that, but I want the Bengals. Like, we're surrounded by Bengals fans. I love it when all my friends are happy. I want the Bengals to be good. But, man, the Jets just kind of surprised me the last few weeks. And I'm going to take them. I'm not going to go money line with them just to kind of cover my butt. But I'm going to take the Jets and the over.
So you're going to say the Bengals win by a field goal instead of losing by a field goal 2 weeks in a row?
Sure. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Evan McPherson gets his game-winning field goal this game. That's what he's going on.
He needs one after having one blocked. Let's go to another game. Bucks, Packs. This is in Tampa. Tampa's a 1.5, and the over/under is 41.5. Plus 110 to the Packers. I'm not sure I like what Aaron Rodgers has to throw to. even though he still does not look bad. You know, he does good work with what he has, but I'll let Garrett take this one.
I'm not betting against Tom Brady, so we know that. It's the Bucks are covering 1.5. The only thing that kills me on that is the over and under. Bucks got a really good defense. There's a lack of offensive weapons on the Packers. But I mean, you also come out and see Tampa Bay. Like, I mean, other than the final quarter where Jameis Winston threw a pick six, I mean, points just kind of rained down from nowhere. I mean, the Bucks offense couldn't move that much, and Green Bay has a pretty decent defense. 41.5 doesn't seem like a lot, but I'm taking the Bucks to cover, but I'm also going to take the under in that.
I'll go with the Bucks on that one. Something to note is there's a lot of skill guys out for Tampa Bay.
Mm-hmm.
A lot. You got Mike Evans suspended for a game for laying out Marshawn Lattimore. Julio Jones is out, and Chris Godwin's out. You know, I'm not saying that they don't have other guys, but it's just not going to be the same kind of offense that we're used to seeing in prior years. Not to this point in the season, but they've not been at full strength, really. 41.5 is low, especially for Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady. But I think the Buccaneers defense kind of holds. Buccaneers defense holds Aaron Rodgers to a low amount of points because he just doesn't have that many offensive weapons, and Buccaneers just don't have enough guys healthy right now to really be able to put points on the board. So that's low, but I'm going to take the under. I'm going to take the Bucks. I mean, the Bucks at -1.5. That's a -110 bet. I mean, you might as well just take a money line too. I mean, I'll take the Bucks money line too at -130 because it's almost doubling your bet. You're only losing 20%. So yeah. I'll take the Bucks money line too on that.
Well, yeah, if you hit that too, I mean, regardless, you're getting your money plus what you bet. Yeah. What 90? What minus? What did you say it was? It says -130. So you're getting $100. You turn to 70. You get 170. 170.
Yeah.
I mean, I do like that. So I was looking at this while you are talking. Julio's out. Knee didn't practice Wednesday. Chris Godwin didn't practice because of his hamstring. Evans is suspended. Russell Gage has a hamstring injury. Scotty Miller, who I thought was going to be the pickup of the week in fantasy, has a calf injury. He didn't practice. And Rashad Perryman also has a knee injury. Who do they have left to throw with? Or to throw to, sorry. I know Brady can do anything with any receivers as long as they can get open. I don't care who it is. So I'm taking the Bucks.
I think we're about to see 40 rushes. Just throwing that out there.
Leonard Fournette.
Fournette
ran into the ground.
If you've got Fournette on your fantasy team this week, this man is going to go off.
RB1 right there.
I am going to take the Bucks still because 1.5. The Packers don't have anybody to throw to. Lazard's all right, but I like you said, you can't bet against Tom Brady. But I think Aaron Rodgers will find a way to score and make this a tight game. So I am going to take this over because we've all seen it throughout Aaron Rodgers' career. He always finds a way to score late and make games tight. So yeah, give me the Bucks and the over. Garrett, what did you say you had? You said Bucks and
the under.
Under? Okay. All right, just make sure I had all those wrote down. Next game is the Rams at Cardinals. Rams are 3.5-point favorite on the road, and the over-under moved actually a little bit this week. Closed at 48.5, plus 160 to the Cardinals. Take this one, Adam.
Yeah, I think this is the Rams kind of get this one and kind of re-solidify themselves as a legitimate Super Bowl contender. I think the Cardinals offense, as as it has been to this point in the season, has been just chaotic as balls. I know Aaron Donald is not going to run down Kyler Murray. But I think that kind of chaotic offense that the Cardinals has been running kind of comes to an end at this game, and I'll take the over just solely because I think that there's a chance for randomness. Kyler Murray can scramble and just scramble for 20 seconds and run a touchdown like we saw him do last week. But I'm going to take the Rams. Cooper Kupp has 150 yards receiving, and I'll take the Rams in the over.
I completely agree. I actually have this written down. This is my fun game of the week because I feel like there's just going to be way too many points. I mean, there's just going to be random drives where it's 2 plays for 86 yards because Cooper Kupp caught one for 60. And then you also have, I mean, like we saw last week, you got the Kyler Murray effect where when he wants to play ridiculous, I mean, they can come out and score points. If we get that, I think this over is pretty easy. I do think the Rams, though, are the better team. Yeah, exactly. The Rams just have all these weapons on offense and defense. I mean, if you just look at the rosters, the Rams have to win this game, and I think they win. I'm not sure how close it's going to be. If it is close, I think they cover 3.5, but points. At least this will be a fun game to watch, hopefully.
It should be a fun game to watch. I agree with you. I'm also taking Rams over easy. But I got a question to ask you all. If D-Hop is eligible, does that make that much of a difference in this game?
No.
-2.5. That's it.
Yeah.
You think it moves to 2.5?
If he has a few games under him and he's playing well, 2.5.
Well, I asked
first
that.
game back, they played it, then I wouldn't say much.
They still got to stop the offense.
Yeah,
you know?
I asked that because I'm trying to get D-Hop from Colin on our fantasy league. So.
You didn't draft him? Dude, they had him crazy low on, projections.
Well, I tried to get him, but it didn't
I got
work
him
out.
I'm in, 4 leagues. I got him in, 3 in, the 8th round.
Well, I ended up, sadly, I took Odell because I thought
wow.
Well, no, it was late. It was late.
Yeah, we already flamed him for this.
Yeah, I got smacked for this. I took Odell late because I thought he would sign with somebody at some point. And, that's probably going to bite me in the ass.
I feel like he will.
Immaterial. Truthfully, that stat's immaterial. You could have picked him up on waivers. You wasted a draft pick.
Yeah, I know, but everybody in our group, maybe it was them trying to get me to pick him up. We were all sitting. We did a live draft. Besides 3 or 4 of us, everybody was talking about Odell, and I was like, man, maybe I'll take him. I don't know.
Oh, every jaw hit the floor when that pick comes through.
You got baited.
Every jaw hit the floor.
It's okay because if he does get signed, then I'm gonna give you all.
He's making his recruitment. He's making his recruitment tour right now. He's going to a different team every week.
He's trying,
hanging on the sidelines. I think he'll get picked up. Yeah, I don't know.
Somebody is going to take him, but it depends on where he goes.
ACL. It's not hard to come back from that at all.
I mean we're talking about NFL players. Those guys get the best treatment. They're going to come back just fine.
Treatment.
Let's go to the Niners are at Denver. 1.5 to the 49ers, and the over-under is at 45. Plus 105 to the Broncos. Not a great money line bet. I'm going to take this because me and Garrett have been talking about this a lot. Jimmy G is the man. Am I wrong?
San Francisco.
Am I wrong?
The man.
Am I wrong? Yeah. I'm going to take... I know it's minus 125. But I'm going to take Niners money line. I think they just destroy the Broncos. Money line, cover, but I think I'm going to take the over on this. So, because I think Russell's going to score some points. He does have a few weapons. Oh, Jerry Jeudy is still undecided for this week, right? I think I've looked at that.
So
Yeah. Give me the Niners and give me the over. I think there's a lot of points scored in this game, but to me, like you said, that there was another game you said that was going to be fun to watch. I think this is going to be a good one to watch because Jimmy, as soon as he came in the game the other day, he was sitting there waiting on his first snap, and he was just like this. Like, I know his fellow quarterback just got hurt, and that's not why he was smiling, but he was just happy to be back on the field. And that man is a good quarterback. I don't care what you say. He took that team to a Super Bowl at one point. So
I don't disagree with you there, but the only thing I disagree on is we have picked Cleveland, Bengals, Jets. I mean, Cowboys, Giants. Those are 3 disgusting games. This is the most disgusting game I think that we're picking. This game is going to be so boring.
I agree.
Really?
This is going to be such an ugly game. There might be 20 points scored in total. They're 2 decent defenses. The 49ers have a much better defense than Denver. The only reason Russell Wilson didn't score against the Seahawks because he had 2 fumbles at the goal line. Like, I get that. Russ is not looking great. I don't think he's going to be able to get the ball rolling. I don't see it happening. 1.5. I don't know how the 49ers aren't really favored by at least 3. That'd make more sense to me. Like 3.5, I would completely understand. I'm taking the Niners, but I'm hammering that under. This is going to be an ugly game. I won't even watch this game. This is a check the score and be like, oh, Jimmy G threw for a touchdown and a pick, and then Russell Wilson has fumbled for his second time against that defense. It's an ugly game. I don't like it, but give me the Niners and under.
Yeah. No, I see your point. Like, it makes sense, but I don't think Russell's going to, like, he's leading those drives down into red zone territory. So I think he will eventually start capitalizing.
Where's the points at?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, instead of turning the ball over, I think he might eventually start capitalizing. That's why I think he is going to score points this weekend. Because if he doesn't start doing it soon, like, man's getting kind of old. So he's got to start.
$250 million.
Hey,
So I got to say, 250.
Shout out to him for getting a bag.
So I feel like there's a stat we're all overlooking here. Is that the 49ers just beat the Seahawks by 20, and the Seahawks just beat Denver.
But the goal line stands where they force fumbles.
Goal lines are 50-50 to me in the NFL. It's not like college.
Okay, let's make up 14 points. They still beat the Seahawks by 6.
That's fine. I mean,
okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah. We're not trying to shit on you.
No, I'm just saying, like, that's something to take into account because when I first looked at this, I was like, Broncos are home. Russell Wilson's gonna have at least some kind of significance and kind of being back to his former self, maybe. But when I started looking at the schedules and the stats, man, I'm hammering the 49ers money line. I know it's minus 125, but I mean, if you're going to take them minus 110 at 1.5, you might as well take them minus 125. And the under is a sure thing, 100%. Let's see, the 49ers, they give up, 10 points all year? They give up 17 points in the first 2 games. Man, I don't see the Broncos. I don't see Russell Wilson being able to score on the Niners defense, and the 49ers defense is perfectly fine with scoring 14 points. So the under, I'm going with the under, and if I'm going to take the 49ers at minus 1.5, I might as well take a money line too. So
yeah,
I'll go across the board on them there.
Yeah, at 1.5, that's why you might as well take that money line. Let's see. Dolphins, Bills. This is in Miami. The Bills are a 6-point favorite. The over-under is 53, and it is plus 185. And I'll be honest, this might be the best game on Sunday. Or is this Sunday or is this Thursday or Monday?
It's a Sunday night.
Okay.
This should be Sunday night.
This might be the best game.
I think it's 1 p.m.
This might be the best game to watch all day Sunday. Dolphins have looked good. I do like the Dolphins, but the Bills are a wagon, as we've all confirmed. If the Bills don't win the Super Bowl, then I don't know who's going to win it, honestly. And I think Adam's pick of Bills-Bucks is probably going to be the pick once they're all healthy.
Brady walks away into the win.
Yeah. If they win this one, it's win or lose. I think Brady's gone. But I'll let Garrett take this one.
So this is actually a 1 o'clock game on Sunday because the Bills just played prime time on Monday.
Okay.
So that'll really change anything for me. I think the Bills are a wagon. I mean, we've already said this multiple times, but Bills are covering. I do love the over though in this game because I feel like the Bills are going to go out there. They're going to score 40 points. But I mean, it's from what we saw with Jalen Waddle and Tua. I mean, and Tyreek Hill. Like, come on, the Dolphins are going to score at least 3 touchdowns. I feel like I know Buffalo's defense. It's a division game. I mean, they know each other pretty well, but this is going to be a high-scoring affair. I don't know why it's at 53. Bills in the over. I don't think the Bills are going to lose in any fashion, but the amount of points, it's just this could also be considered another fun game for me this week.
I want the Dolphins to win. I do.
I do too.
1 and 2, dude. Tua. I'm on the Tua train right now. I got him on waivers in every single one of my fantasy teams. There is a path to where he's the number 1 quarterback in fantasy this year. There is a path, but I don't think it's against the Bills' defense is the problem. I think the over probably hits. You got Tyreek Hill on the field. You got a 7-point nuke ready to go off at any moment. So I'm going to take the over in that. But, man, I think the Dolphins are going to be good. I think they're going to put up a lot of points. They're going to be a show to watch. But I just don't. The Bills just look like another level right now. So I'm going to take the Bills in that, and I'll take the over.
All right, so I was trying to think about this before I watched this game or looked at the matchup, obviously. Plus 185 money line. Dude, Miami does some weird stuff when they're at home, and they shock a lot of people. We've seen them do it against Tom Brady and some of the best teams that he has ever had. So I'm going to throw out something. This is not going to be something I would recommend anyone to bet on, but I am going to take the Dolphins money line and the over.
Hey, Miami is not Buffalo. It's a different climate down there. It's going to happen.
Yeah. So it's going to be hot.
They're going to be more comfortable.
Yeah. So
yes.
I am taking Miami money line and the over. If it hits, awesome. I said I wouldn't recommend people to bet this, but I bet a lot of people are going to take this plus 185 money line bet. Just because of what I said, that weird things happen in Miami all the time. I do think the Bills are a much better team. Obviously, they are a wagon, and they should win the Super Bowl. But I don't know. I like what I see out of Miami right now. A lot. So we'll see what happens. Last NFL game of the week. Cowboys are going to New York, play the Giants. It is a 1-point favorite to the Giants. The over-under is at 39, plus 120 to the Cowboys. Is Cooper Rush the man, or is he not, Garrett?
He's not. I mean, we saw Saw a little bit of him last week against the Bengals. I mean, the Bengals are just going through their own thing right now. I don't think that's a direct representation of Cooper Rush as a quarterback. I mean, he had a great first drive, and then after that, they really couldn't move the ball that much. I mean, at one point, it's a toss-up, but since it's in New York, shout out Brian Daboll, I'm going Giants. Even at 39, I think this, I think this is like 16-13. Like this is an ugly game.
It would be a push.
I'm taking the under.
Oh, that'd be 29. Sorry. I man, I'm a Cooper Rush believer. I am. Like, what? How many games has he started? 2, 3? Is he 3-0? Like,
in games he's actually started, he might.
He beat Minnesota. He beat Minnesota last year. He just beat the Bengals.
Yeah, he might. He's at least 2-0, maybe 3.
But I don't want to say it because they screwed me the first week. You know what? This is going to be a spot pick solely because they screwed us the first week of the season. Give me Giants, and if I can, I want to adjust it from -2.5 to -6. And I'll find the odds on that. I'll do the odds, but I'm wanting to push that minus up to 6. And give me the over.
Is that 2.5 or 1?
It's 1. It's
yeah,
1.
It closed. It closed at 1. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry if I didn't preface that or say that. Yeah. 39 is tough to bet and under, so I'm gonna take the over. I know there's not gonna be a lot of points scored in this game, but I still feel like they might close the over. Oh, Giants Cowboys. God, I can't say that I'll even watch this game. Honestly, it might be that boring.
It's Monday Night Football though. We'll glance at it. At least.
Well, if it's Monday, I'll watch it because it'll be the only thing to watch on Monday, which will be nice. Give me. Yeah, give me the Giants. Why not? Giants and the over. Is that what I said? Correct? Yeah.
Yep.
39's really, really low. It's hard to say that's not going to hit. Even though there's a lot of NFL games who come in at like 20-13. That's why over-unders in NFL I do not like. I do not like picking those at all.
Giants -6 is +200. So it's 2 times what you bet.
So
plus your money back.
So would you bet that?
Yeah, run it. Well, I mean, if I'm trying to make money, probably not. But if I'm picking it out of spot, and I'm saying Giants -6.
All right.
I might even push that 6.5. Truthfully, if I'm taking 6, might as well take 6.5.
Right.
6.5, 225. I'll do 6.5. I've changed it. I'll go 6.5.
All right. So we have picked all of our games. Is there any picks that you all think, like for sure locks, if you want to give anything for our listeners to, if this is what you want to bet on this week, put money on this. Is there anything you like that much?
You want to go back and forth on this, Garrett? Because I've got like 2 or 3.
Yeah, go ahead and do your first one.
Under on the Georgia game. Under is 62. That's a smack.
Under on the Georgia game?
Yeah. Under at 62.
Yeah. So that'd be a what, +1 or -105? -110.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not a bad one. I would probably Also,
I would put an absurd amount of money on that.
okay.
I found probably one of the lower over unders that we've seen, and I'm going to Old Faithful, the Iowa Hawkeyes. They're playing at Rutgers. This is a Big Ten matchup. The over under right now is at 34, and I'm still taking the under.
I knew this
It's
was
Iowa,
coming.
baby.
Dude,
I knew at some point
Hawkeyes,
Garrett was
baby.
going to pull the Iowa thing back out.
Hawkeyes, baby.
I like that. I would probably also go on that bet with you, because they're not going to score any points. It's Big Ten football. I know I say that a lot, but
There's going to be 19 punts in this game and 6 turnovers. All of them fumbles because they're not going to pass the ball. I mean, this is good. I mean, very well. This is a 7-3 game. Rutgers wins. Like this, or 7-3 Iowa wins. It doesn't matter. I don't see 34 points between them. That's 17 points each. Iowa hasn't scored 17 points yet this season. Rutgers has, but against like teams I've never even heard of. Iowa's defense doesn't allow a lot of points. Their offense doesn't score many points. I just don't see how you can ever bet an over, at least this season right now, for the Iowa Hawkeyes. So I'm taking the under. 34. Could be 30. I take it.
so the one that I like the most, I think I took them. Yeah, I took Arkansas money line because I'm that confident. I know it's plus 110, or well, it closed at plus 105. Not a huge return. I mean, you bet 100, you win back 205. But if I had a large amount of money to put on this game, I really do think Arkansas is that much better than A&M. So to me, if I was going to put a large bet, I would take Arkansas money line in that game. Way too easy. It's a close game anyway. At minus 1.5 A&M. So that's the one this week that I feel like I would hammer. I wouldn't say put the house on it, but put the car on it.
the next one I'd go Florida plus 10.5.
Yeah, no, that would have been my second pick. That's pretty easy, I feel like.
I think we all picked that.
At 10.5, what is that? Plus 110?
It's minus 110.
Minus 110?
Yeah. But like, okay, so what if we parlayed? What if we quit now with what we got, 4 picks? We can get it up to 6 if you two want to pick more. What if we did that and we put in a group parlay?
Like Arkansas money line,
Best picks.
Georgia under, Florida cover,
Iowa under. I'm telling you, I think Vanderbilt plus 41 is a good pick.
It is. No, see, if Alabama wasn't the other team on that, then I would probably be okay with that. But just the fact that it's Alabama and Nick Saban, like I like that pick. I took Vandy, but it's not going to be something I'm going to be like, hey, go throw your money at that.
Yeah, I took Bama as well, but I don't love it. You know, it's just too many points.
You never know.
You two both take Wisconsin. I mean, you two both take Ohio State and minus 19.
No, Garrett took Ohio State.
I don't love it. Yeah, I don't love it, but
well, let's just stick with the 4 we got. Let's
history.
do that. Let's just stick with the 4 we got. Just see what happens. Because I'm confident in those 4. I think Arkansas. I think Arkansas wins. So, you know.
Yeah. So.
I am trusting you with that under of 34, Garrett.
Ready, baby. Get ready.
17-17 ball game. Push.
All right. So, Adam, let me write these down real quick before we end the show. So we want Florida cover, right?
Florida cover plus 10.5.
Okay.
Iowa under at 34.
I will
Georgia under at 62.
Georgia under.
At 62.
Yep.
Arkansas money line.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we will make a trip and see. Well, I can do it online and see what it looks like, payout wise.
I'll do it right now.
But if we if we do end up making this bet, I'll make some kind of thumbnail or something, or pull it up and show you guys the receipt, and we'll see what it looks like. Like I say in every video, if you have any recommendations or anything, comment, subscribe, let us know how we're doing, tell us what we need to change. We take anything into consideration. We will be back on Monday, hopefully. Garrett will be gone for the weekend, rocking his brains out. And I'm jealous about it, even though I will be watching football. But we'll see. Yeah. It's hard to do fall music festivals and college football in the same time of year. The worst.
I'm going to be sweating it out 1 p.m. on Sunday, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I'll be here sweating with you. But it's been a good episode. We'll be back on Monday. And it's been real. See you all.
See ya.